Recently asked a really great question that I didn't have time to cover, so I want to share my answer with all of you today. The question has to do with setting daily, weekly, and monthly goals. How do we balance all these big goals, these big dreams that we have, and how do we string them together in a way where we continue to make progress without becoming burnt out? So the first step is going to really be about determining whether or not these goals are something you should be chasing. Begin by deciding, do each one of these goals align to my long-term vision, my values, and my energy levels? This is really important because those goals that align to our long-term vision, they align to our values, and they align with our energy levels are the goals that we're more likely to achieve. The goals that don't align with all three of these, simply cross out. Now that you've possibly eliminated some of these goals from the list, the next step is going to be to create an individual SMART goal for each one. So our SMART goals are specific, measurable, they're achievable, they're realistic, and they are time bound. The time bound piece can be really difficult, especially when we're chasing a new goal. We probably don't know exactly how long this is going to take. So the trick for this is to take the amount of time that you estimate it might be to reach that goal and then double it. After you've set your SMART goals, you can now begin to break each one down into smaller steps. Develop a list of milestones for each goal. If you are seeking a new job, the first milestone might be to update your resume. If you are starting a new business, the first milestone might be creating a list of where your ideal clients hang out. As you develop these milestones, you can then begin by creating an action plan for the very first milestone. Remember to be flexible along the way. Our plans, our intentions quite often don't exactly work out the way that we're expecting. So being flexible will be important to keep you on track and keep you motivated. Now you have your milestones. You have an action plan, specific steps that are going to get you to that very first milestone. Before you start the action plan, create an incentive or a reward for reaching that first milestone. For example, when Sean and I started our business, one of our first milestones was to make it to month 6. And we decided when we would make it to month 6, we would find a way to celebrate that. Having this will help keep you motivated along the way. And after you reach that first milestone and you celebrate it and you reward yourself, before beginning progress towards the second milestone, set a new incentive or a new reward for yourself. Now, this is a natural challenge for everybody in a goal pursuit. It's called the middle problem. The first step of the middle problem in understanding it is simply acknowledging that it exists. The middle problem is natural to every single human being. So knowing that it exists, knowing that we're probably going to face this middle problem is really powerful. So what exactly is the middle problem? Well, as you can see in our simple graph here, when we begin a goal pursuit, our motivation is high. Maybe we want to write a book, and thinking about writing this book and the outcomes of that are really exciting, and we are all about it, super motivated. But as time goes on, our motivation naturally dwindles. And eventually, when we hit the midway point in our goal pursuit, our motivation is typically at an all-time low. This is the middle problem. However, as we get closer to the end of a goal, when we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, our motivation spikes. And quite often, this is where we get some of our best work done. So know that this exists. Know that halfway through that first milestone, you may find motivation dwindles, and that's okay. Simply being aware of it is really important. But so how do we address this middle problem? Well, The best way to do it is to simply shrink the amount of time in which we're chasing a goal. So instead of setting your first milestone to occur within a month, maybe break that milestone down into something even smaller and aim for it to be completed by the end of the week. Now, when we face the middle problem in the middle of the week, it's only going to last 1 or 2 days. On the other hand, when we face the middle problem over the course of a month, it might last an entire week, which can really be demotivating and derail us from what we really want to achieve. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, just leave a comment.